Hello YouTube, I'm Gearwrecked and I'm back again today with another reaction video for you, and this time we have 222 to 0, pretty good episode 10 by John Boyce. At least I think I'm saying that right, but I'm not exactly sure the context of where this came in for a reaction, but somebody wanted me to react to this, and we're gonna get straight to that today. So sit down, buckle up, and get right into it. But also, before the video begins, if you all haven't become painfully aware already, I started a gaming channel, and you guys can go over there. I'll put a link in the description down below. You all to go there and enjoy the Let's Plays that I've just now started making and creating for you over there as well. So go easy on me. It's literally just the first series right now, and we're hoping to make it bigger and better as we go. So all the feedback I can get would be great. So thank y'all. Let's get right into this video.
It's now been
All right, here we
100
go.
years since the worst beatdown between grown adults in the history of American sports. There is so much to tell. There's the dog that chased one of the players around the stadium. There's the kicker who caught his own kick for a touchdown. There's the player who entered the game, took a snap, threw the ball in the air in a state of sheer terror, ran off the field and hid. And of course, there's the score. In 1916, Georgia Tech's football team beat Cumberland College by a score of 202. Oh, sorry. I forgot one.
I cannot even read that absolute fucking text right there. But from what I'm getting from this so far, just from the little bit already, this wasn't just a football game, it was a goddamn massacre. And not only that, I don't know how this was even possible, but I guess we're gonna find out how together, so. I'm gonna turn this down just a wee bit, really loud in my ear. I'm sorry, hold up. What about the McDonald's? Where is it? Paranoid McDonald's. He shook while his teeth constantly rattled. They consistently rattled. Something tells me you're not talking about McDonald's, like the food chain. Well, let's see what happened in this fucking massacre.
$222 points in a game. That is an unbreakable record. It has been 67 years since a team scored even half that many.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even know that was an existing score. I had no idea at all that was even a current existing score. But according to that one right there, is at least 1949. So when the hell was
To do
222?
32 touchdowns in 55 minutes, which means it had to score a touchdown every minute 43. Now, it is fair to say that Georgia Tech was a million times better than Cumberland College, but that doesn't explain this. Vast superiority alone explains Secretariat, who won the Belmont by 31 lengths. It explains the 1940 Chicago Bears, who won the NFL championship 73-0. It explains the time UConn women's basketball took a 74-9 lead on SMU. Those are routes, yeah, they're blowouts. This was an irrational, malicious act of cruelty that just happened to also technically barely be a sport.
Oh Lord.
We have accounts of what happened.
Oh,
It's scoreable. We can't
Oh
score.
God, it doesn't stop
In the same way
either.
we can award a blue ribbon to a supernova. But first, let's understand
That's
where
a
this mouse
massive
came from.
fucking list.
It's 1915. Cumberland's team, which used to be good, is now terrible. The coach is a reverend from around town who doesn't know the rules and doesn't approve of all the violence, so he makes up new practice drills that are more to his liking. In one drill, he has two guys stand a few feet apart and just lob the ball to each other over and over and over. In another drill, he has them sit in a circle and close their eyes, and he would place the ball behind one of them, and then they'd have to guess which one had the ball. It was like an even worse version of Duck Duck Goose. I don't know, I feel stupid even talking about it. Unsurprisingly, none of the players came back after that season, and it was up to George Allen, the 20-year-old athletic manager, to save Cumberland football. He figured that if the baseball team could get a little bit of buzz, it could sell enough tickets to finance the football team, so he arranged for Cumberland baseball to beat their opening opponent as badly as they could. Thing is, Cumberland players weren't good enough to do that, so he convinced a minor league baseball team to dress up in Cumberland's uniforms and play as them. It was an entire team full of ringers. I couldn't confirm this, but
I see. So basically, he rigged the baseball game to sell tickets and then make enough to support the football. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to fucking, I guess, you know, fund your football team, especially if it's not that great. And if they're, I honestly don't think they would cut it, but still, it's pretty bad that you're having to sort to hiring pro players secretly and then doing it this way.
the minor league team in question was the Nashville Volunteers, half of whom had Major League Baseball experience. Cumberland destroyed Georgia Tech, 22-0. They were hitting everything. After a while, they got bored and they just started bunting every at-bat, and they still scored 3 more runs just by bunting. Georgia Tech baseball was humiliated, and so was their coach. His name was John Heisman.
Something tells me he's not going to say hi, man.
Coach, but he remains one of football's architects. Let's look at a modern-day football game. The scoreboard shows the down, yardage, and game clock. That was John Heisman's idea. The quarterback yells, "Hut." Heisman came up with that. Then the center snaps the ball in the air to the quarterback.
So pixelated.
Then the quarterback throws a forward pass. Heisman invented that too. This quarterback was the best in the nation, so they gave him a trophy called the Heisman Trophy. In showing up John Heisman, Cumberland angered a football god. 1916 rolled around, and Cumberland no longer had a football team. Heisman didn't care. Georgia Tech Cumberland was on the football schedule, and Heisman threatened to charge the school $3,000 if they forfeited. That's $66,000 in today's money, and it was more than Cumberland could comfortably afford. Heisman had another target.
By that time, yeah, I would assume so, probably.
I mean, it's not for no reason. Sports writers are useless. Like, we are useless. Heisman took issue with the way sports writers oversimplified. They figured that the more points a team scored, the better that team was. Heisman knew it wasn't as simple as that, so he wanted to rack up as many points on Cumberland as he possibly could to show that if you really wanted to and your opponent was bad enough, you could score as much as you wanted. In order to save themselves a crippling amount of debt, Cumberland rounded up a bunch of law students, some of whom didn't even know how to play football, and sent them to play against what may have been the best football team on the planet. It's the afternoon of October 7th.
I'm about to say, at that point, I would say that's probably really damn good coaching, especially if they have never played. That's some seriously damn good coaching, and I think you unlock some potential in them that they didn't even know they fucking had.
1916. H.J. Carney waits for the opening kickoff to fall out of the sky. He doesn't move. He looks to his right, where Edwards, the quarterback, makes a block. He turns to his left, where a man listed as George Murphy gets ready to throw another block. This is not actually George Murphy. This is Johnny Dog Nelson, the only ringer George Allen was able to recruit this time around. He's a former player and a sports writer by trade. Here he is reporting on another football team a month from now. Johnny Dog whiffs entirely. Carney still hasn't moved. He's clobbered right where he caught the ball. Edwards, who made the first block, is knocked out cold. Cumberland has lost its quarterback on the first play of the game.
Okay, so there's the one that got knocked out and is unconscious that I saw the thing in the beginning there. So there's that one. Okay. I will say I do love the attention to detail for all the stop motion that went into this video too, by the way. So allow me to say that's really good work on that.
Cumberland gains 3 yards on its first play from scrimmage. It's one of only 4 times they'll get past the line of scrimmage all day. They choose to punt on 3rd down, and Tech scores 2 plays later. Cumberland fumbles on 1st and 10, Tech scores. Cumberland fumbles on 1st and 10 again, Tech scores again. By the 18th play of the game, Tech is already up 28-0. Everything is as it should be. Georgia Tech is a powerhouse. They were in the middle of a 33-game undefeated streak that lasted more than 4 years. Up 28-0, Georgia Tech is stopped at the 1, but it's not because Cumberland stopped them. The opposite, actually. Tech's running back, Strupper, takes it to the 1 untouched. The Cumberland players actually get out of his way, but then he downs it. What happens next comes from a book about this game called You Dropped It, You Pick It Up by Jim Paul. It is the most complete source on this game I was able to find. Sadly, it's out of print. It explains that another of Tech's running backs, Canty Alexander, had yet to ever score a touchdown, and his teammates liked to give him grief about it. A week prior, Tech got to the 1 and handed Alexander the ball, and then his linemen just moved out of the way and let him get clobbered for 3 straight downs, and then they gave somebody else the ball to score on 4th down. They were gonna do the same thing here. The Tech players just hit the dirt and gave up, but then for some reason, the Cumberland players did too. Maybe they were scared, maybe it was some weird animalistic instinct, or maybe they just didn't know what to do. That left Alexander as the only man standing on the field, 1 yard from the goal. This should be the easiest touchdown of all time, but he bobbles the snap and he inadvertently boots it a couple of times before he finally recovers it in the end zone. As a two-team effort, it's probably one of the dumbest plays in the history of football.
I would say so, because I don't really know what that achieves. Unless there's a hidden thing that I'm not seeing there, but I don't really see how that's helpful. Especially if they're already down. So I don't think I fully understand it, but I'll let that one go. I don't think I fully caught that one or understood that one.
See, back in the day, if your opponent scored on you, you had the option of kicking or receiving on the ensuing play. I don't know why you would ever do this or why this was an option, but it was. And throughout the game, Cumberland chose to kick after being scored on 5 times. Early in the second quarter, Tech leads 70-0. Against all odds, Cumberland actually finds itself a 3rd and 1. Coach Allen wants to catch them off guard, and he wants to do this by punting. George E. Allen will later go on to have an eventful life. He'll serve as a political operative and become close with FDR, Truman, and Eisenhower. They were presidents who had known him. He even wrote a book. It was called Presidents Who Have Known Me. But for now, he's a nervous 20-year-old
accurate title book
coaching against John Heisman. He orders his team to punt, but in the huddle, they decide, no, we are absolutely not punting on 3rd and 1. They line up, Leon McDonald gets the pitch right, and then rather than go the 1 yard for the first down, he panics and punts anyway. It bounces out of bounds 11 yards downfield. Play 45. Morris Gouger fields the kick, and Georgia Tech's special team unit somehow overruns him. There's nothing but open field in front of him. He has daylight. Cumberland hasn't even made it to the 50-yard line yet. A touchdown would be unthinkable. Morris trips and falls over a teammate at his own 20. His teammate was looking for his glasses. Play 48.
Well,
Edwards, the quarterback who was knocked out cold on the first play.
Again, this is the one that said, had no prior experience, but, kind of expected, but fair enough.
Was sent back in. He can't really walk straight. He can't even talk. He is showing obvious concussion-like symptoms. He can't call for the snap. His impatient center snaps it anyway and pops him right in the head. Edwards has now appeared in 2 plays and has been carried off the field unconscious 2 times. Later, this will also happen a 3rd time. Today, we look on this with horror. Back then, a concussion was treated about as seriously as a Charlie horse.
Yeah, which is why a lot of them ended up having a lot of mental cognitive problems because of that too, I think. So yeah, concussions were just walk it off, buddy. Back then, they just slap you on the ass and say, get back out there. I don't think they were taken as seriously as they are now. They made you play through that. Like if you could stand, you were conscious. They didn't care if you were concussed or not. Hell, if you had a broken bone, maybe, but you were still good enough to go, where it's not bad, but you can still do it. They'd probably still send you out there as well. So kind of ruthless, but yeah. I think they did do that.
Unbelievably lengthy sequence. Between plays 44 and 82, the line of scrimmage never leaves Cumberland's red zone. For 39 straight plays, about 1/3 of the game, the line of scrimmage for both teams is always inside the Cumberland 20. This is absolutely ludicrous, and it's also what makes Georgia Tech's total offense all the more impressive. See, Tech only managed 471 offensive yards, which is not a ton. That's because they dominated Cumberland's offense so completely that their own offense just didn't have enough room to gain a lot of yards. Look at where their offense got the ball. Only a few of these could be considered real drives in the traditional sense. Most of them started inside the 20. They couldn't gain yards because they kept running out of them. Contrast this with a game Tech played against Vanderbilt in 2016, just a few weeks ago. Tech won 38-7. It was a great game for them. Taking into account turnovers, returns, and every other time they touched the ball on a play-by-play basis, they picked up 17% of the yards they could possibly get. And remember, that's a one-sided route. The 1916 team picked up 72% of all possible yards. No matter where you dropped Georgia Tech on the field, they were highly likely to score immediately on that play. It's staggering. Jim Priest is Georgia Tech's kicker, and he's bored. By the time this game is all over, he kicked 18 extra points. He bets his teammate a steak dinner that he can kick a ball through the uprights on a kickoff.
And he did say it'll never, ever, 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 ever happen again.
But then he one-ups himself and he turns on the Jets. Morris Gouger, while lining up for the catch, smacks into the goalpost. The ball bounces off his head and into Priest's arms. Jim Priest has just caught his own kickoff for a touchdown.
That is beyond next level luck that you could never fucking imagine that would happen. Yeah, I don't blame why it would never ever fucking happen again, because that is fucking lucky as shit.
Halftime. Coach Allen's team is physically and emotionally destroyed. Cumberland is losing 126-0. If that were a final score today, it would be the worst final score since 1932. Allen has no choice. He has to go talk to the man himself. He figures maybe Heisman will agree to end the game at 1/2.
Oh no,
After all, Cumberland held up their end of the
No, he's not gonna end it. He's gonna fucking brutally put you down in your place, make you feel like you learned a fucking lesson. He's drilling that lesson into you. At these players' expense, unfortunately, I think. But
well,
yeah,
they showed up. Georgia Tech has all its gate receipts. It's true that John Heisman is a disciplined man. In fact, he was famous for telling his teams, better to have died a small boy than to fumble this football. But he's also a noble sportsman. Maybe he'll show mercy.
No.
Heisman does
No mercy.
shorten the game by 5 minutes. He is a creator of this game. He is a football god, and a god who takes instruction from the God of the Old Testament. He is here to reduce them all to pillars of salt.
Yeah.
He is a creator
No
of
mercy.
beef,
I
and
figured that was going to be the case.
He will grind your bones to make his bread.
Yep. No
Skimming
mercy.
5 minutes off the end still guarantees Cumberland 25 minutes of horror. Sometimes a weak expression of pity is the deepest act of cruelty. Play 78. Johnny Dog fields the kick. He looks before him. All his teammates have fallen to the ground in resignation. He staggers to the 10, and then he joins them.
I don't want to play anymore.
Edwards is back in the game, despite being knocked unconscious twice.
I gotta say, that's not only probably very hurtful to someone's ego, you gotta be somewhat mentally destroyed and exhausted at this point. Like, there's not even a fucking point in continuing. So I could see why this is...
He takes the snap and pitches it to Johnny Dog, who pitches it back. Neither of them want the ball. They keep tossing it back and forth, demanding that the other one take it. And the weight of a Georgia Tech tackler crashes down on them both. Edwards is carried off the field a third time. Alright, brief disclaimer. I'm about to tell you a part of the story that I don't think is true.
Okay.
It's in the book, so I'm going to tell you about it, but as the story goes, by now Cumberland is short on willing and able players. At least 2 players have run away and hid. 2 more players have leg injuries. So Coach Allen ties their injured legs together and has them hobble along on the field as one man.
Ironically enough, you may say you don't believe it, but I actually do. I actually believe it. If he's that determined in this fucking thing, I wouldn't put it past him. I would have to incline. That's probably true.
Play 84. Coach
Don't know
Allen
how
sends out
effective,
Boston
but it's
and
probably
Silly
true.
Rose Pee-wee, who is only here to impress his professors. Pee-wee does not know anything about the rules of football. He is ensured that he will not have to touch the ball or actually do anything. The center direct snaps him the ball. He stumbles around in a state of panic, then flings the ball away in fright. In the ensuing scramble, he runs away. He is now the 4th Cumberland player.
Tell your story, keep out.
He hides behind a fence where 2 other players are hiding. They don't want him to give away their hiding spot, so they throw him back over the fence.
Oh my god.
There is no escape. Play 86. Johnny Dog is chased around the stadium by an actual dog who has wandered in from the stands. Sure, why not? If you're a regular viewer, you'll probably remember this little guy. All I can conclude is that in the early 20th century, wild dogs were everywhere. Play 94. Georgia Tech scores to make it 173-0. The point after attempt...
I have no knowledge of that. I came much later. I was the 90s, not 20. Sorry.
...follows is poetry. If Cumberland just lets this extra point sail through, the final score ends up being 223-0. But they block it, unwittingly ensuring the precision of Heisman's revenge. A 22-0 baseball loss is answered by a 222-0 unholy clobbering.
He said, hold that thought. Let me add an extra 200 to this bullshit for you. He's like, you think this is bad? Let me add another 200.
I don't know how or why Cumberland finds resolve to fight at this moment, but they do. They execute what's known as the climb the ladder play, which has since been made illegal. One player gets on all fours and grabs the knees of a second player, who bends over at the waist and grabs the stomach of a third player. A fourth player, Vishy Woods, steps over their backs and shoulders and leaps as high as he can.
I won't lie, that's probably gotta hurt like motherfucking hell too, because this motherfucker's wearing cleats.
This is Vishy Woods' face before the play.
These motherfuckers are wearing cleats. That shit's gotta
Vishy
hurt.
Woods' face after this play.
I don't care what the pattern was like back in. It's a fucking bulldozer. This is literally just signaling exactly how much they're getting devastated and beat the fuck up and run the fuck down. That's what I'm getting from all of this. He's standing on his head and came in with a drop kick. Yeah. That's total offense. Negative 33. Oh lord. Passing efficiency, which means they have interceptions up here at the top. No, it's probably further down, but which means they had to have, well, they gave 15 turnovers. There had to have been a lot of interceptions in between this and there too, so they constantly would, like they said, tossing the ball back and forth between each other. I don't know. I say that's a lot even for now, because I'm about to say you see most of that shit now, because I mean, again, most of this shit was banned, as they said, and you can't do most of this shit anymore. Which is probably good to the rule tweaking, but you know, that's why you probably won't see this kind of shit anymore. Like, games like this. I mean, you'll still see teams get fucking 0 maybe, but you know. Very far few and in between. I think your F field is off center there in the background. Yeah. That's a brutal fucking defeat to them. Well, there's the McDonald. Know the McDonald now. The funny thing is I see Pee-wee and I'm like, Herman? All I can say is damn, though. I mean, that's fucking brutal, though. All right, we'll call it there because it's pretty much the end. A brutal beat down that bad, and probably most of these players never recovered, especially if they've been knocked unconscious more than once, especially one that's been concussed. Lucky he didn't go to coma, but you know, still, I'm pretty sure they all struggled one way, shape, or form after this game. Just to prove a point, though, I'm like, I think you proved your goddamn point, but you didn't have to fucking abuse the players to do it. Damn. Note to self, don't ever fuck with that guy back there. Don't fuck with that guy. He'll put you in your place. And he'll use others to do it too, I guess. But shit, that ain't good. Good lord. Oh my lord. Atlanta. Alright, well, hopefully we don't see any more beatdowns like this anytime soon. But if you guys liked the video, go ahead and give me a like. The original video will be in the link in the description below. John, you went into a lot of work on this, my friend. You did more work than I probably would have into this, especially for stop motion. It's on point. I'll give you that. My lord. Well, if there's anything else you guys want me to react to as well, also let me know down in the comments below, and I'll add it to the list and get to it as soon as possible. But my lord, I'm gonna take a break after this one. My own mental sanity is gone after this one. I feel bad for the Cumberland team on that. I feel like I was also getting destroyed along part. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, you feel the shockwave at the end of it. Like, you feel it just hearing it. All right, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video. You guys have a good one. And now that the video is ended, allow me to say a big thank you to my coffee supporters. I appreciate you all very greatly, and thank you to Nusla03 for being my first supporter. And if you guys would like to also support me and be able to help me continue to fund the channels and keep everything going and everything rolling, the link to my coffee will be in the description below. You can all go, you can support with via monthly subscription for a membership, or you can just donate however much you would like at the given time. Not necessary, but it is all appreciated. So with that, thank you all and have yourselves a wonderful day.